guys, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room before we get started. I don't know if you can hear that. It's gotten warm where I live, which is fantastic. We love it, but it means that the floor where my computer sits, the desk, which is an antique teacher's desk, and my chair, for some reason, there's not a good reason for this, have all started squeaking in the heat, which means I am just a loud, creaky human. So if you hear that, I apologize. I have no idea how to make that stop, because if it's not the floor creaking, it's the chair creaking, and if it's not the chair creaking, it's the desk creaking. And I had to move my monitor today. I have like the laptop and the monitor set up next to each other, because for some reason halfway through my workday, it started banging the wall every time I touched the desk. You can't see me, but I'm gesturing wildly. Like, what is that? Anyways, now that we've addressed the squeaky noises in the room, we're in Penny Pizzazz's apartment again. We didn't really do the apartment with Penny Pizzazz in mind this time as much, although I think she'd dig it, to be honest with you. I just wanted to build a little bit more of a minimalistic, like, not cold, but not cluttered apartment. And I always forget how great Penny Pizzazz's apartment is. Honestly, I want to start building more in apartments that come with people in them when you load a new world. I, for the longest time, was kind of in the mindset that, like, I didn't want to kick people out. So, like, I've never really built on the pancakes lot. I've never really built on, like, the goths lot, because I was like, I don't really want to take away their home, which is kind of silly. But now that I've moved into the second of the, like, building world, where I don't necessarily play in these worlds, I build in them, and then if I want to play in the house or something, I move it to my personal world. I've been more willing to either kick people out or just build on their lots with them living there. So we're back in Penny Pizzazz's place, but we're not exactly doing a Penny Pizzazz styled house, I don't think. Anyways, we did go with a studio, and we did sort of change the layout a little bit. This one's kind of fun because I always try to do like a slightly different layout than they had, although I think this one's pretty similar if I recall. And it's kind of hard because of where the elevator is. It kind of lends itself to a few similar designs. Like, there's not that many options, but if I recall, when you walked in the original design, you walked sort of right into the bedroom, which makes sense, it's a studio, right? But I sort of like to hide the bed around the corner, like, even though it's all open and once you're in the apartment you can see the bedroom and stuff. I like, if this was my apartment, and assuming I could move furniture around, move like the kitchen around and stuff, I would personally prefer to have my bed like around the elevator, because then, like, you know, if someone comes in, if your super comes in or something unannounced, which they're not supposed to do, but you know, if they do, you have a little bit of like warning time. I was so annoyed in this kitchen with those little like tubey things, gutters that I was trying to use to make it look like the shelves mounted to the wall, because, and this is like a problem with apartments in general, it drives me absolutely batty, is that the close you get to the end wall, or like the outside walls, everything on the wall freaks out, and it's like, why couldn't you have just made it like not do that, you know? So I fought with that, and then finally gave up and put a cabinet up there, and I think it looks fine. And I'm pretty sure those are still there in the gallery, but they just appeared a couple times on me, and I don't know, I can't remember if I caught it before the screenshots or not. But this kitchen dictated what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do an apartment, and I knew I didn't want to do like a super cluttered apartment like I do very often, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And then I started messing around with this kitchen, and it took a long time. Like, it looks pretty fast on here, but this is another one of my patented like lunch break builds, and it took like 2 lunch breaks just to figure out the kitchen. And it definitely is a different design than I had intended. Like, when I came in here, it's a different design than I intended to go with, and I think you can actually see it change quite a bit even within the same scope of design. Like, even once I was like, okay, dark tile, orange wood, like, this is the vibe, you can even see it change more and more like as we go and bounce back and forth. But I think it turned out pretty cool, and I'm not sure what kind of monitor y'all are going to be working on. I have the laptop screen and a second monitor going right now, and it's kind of funny because I usually build on the laptop screen, but I usually review on the second monitor because I'm blind and the second monitor is a little bit bigger for like kitchen things. But the laptop is a little bit more responsive because the second monitor sort of is a dumpster dive save. Anyways, looking at it on the second monitor, it looks a lot more like it's black, but on the desktop with the different on the laptop with the different brightness settings, it's a little more blue in the background. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of interesting. Like, I hope you guys enjoy it, whatever you're looking on, but I always kind of watch these and I'm like, I wonder if they think, like, on their end, if I just built them a black laptop or a black apartment. Goodness gracious, tired brain. When in reality, like, on my side of things, I built you like a super blue apartment, you know? Kind of interesting. And then it's so funny because, like, I'll do like the Instagram posts and stuff, and like I'll do like the color picker. I used to use coolers, but their color picker isn't working anymore, which is fine. And I'll be picking back and forth across both screens, and they look so different. I'm always like, oh gosh, it's gonna look like I don't know what I'm doing, and then I have to remember, like, yeah, but it's coordinated on whatever screens you're looking at. So, like, it doesn't matter if it looks black to me or blue to me. You're gonna see it on your screen. It's gonna look completely different, which is kind of fun and also like a little bit intimidating, right? It can be a little bit intimidating. Like, I don't know what y'all are seeing. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks about that, and maybe I'm taking this just a little too seriously, but I do love the way this kitchen turned out. It took a while with the clutter. This whole, it's funny for, like, as not intense as I went with this. I was like, I don't want to do a lot of clutter. I don't want every surface to be covered in something. As much as I said that, there's still, like, a lot of clutter in this house. Or in this apartment. But it is, the other thing too is, like, I don't know, you guys have to answer me this, where would the bathroom go in this place if it wasn't in the corner by the door? And then what would you do with the space where the bathroom is now? Because, like, I fought with this, I didn't record it, because the last time I built in this apartment, I put the bathroom in the same place, because it seems like the logical solution, because I can't really put it where the bed would be, because there's a giant window there, I guess, unless you're cool with that, but I would be weirded out, even though it's a high-rise, like, I would still be weirded out by that. I'd have to put, like, film up or something. And I guess you could put it where the fridge is, but then what do you do with the space by the door where the bathroom would be? Is that where the kitchen goes? And then is your kitchen separate from your, like, the rest of your living space? I guess it wouldn't be too separate. It would just be, it would make it kind of a long U instead of, like, a chunky living space. Unless, I guess, maybe if you made that your office and then stuck the kitchen living in the back, but then where would your bed go? So that's my question to you guys. How do you lay out this apartment? I'm very interested. Do you lay it out more like the Sims team does? And then, like, would it make you uncomfortable to have giant windows in the bathroom? Because it would make me super uncomfortable. I would have to put curtains up. I did an L-shaped desk, even though, like, it's not super functional as an L-shaped desk, and I totally understand that. But it's because Penny is a YouTuber, I believe, or I guess a content creator. YouTube is a brand, but anyways, she's a content creator, and so they use those, like, kind of L-shaped desks, but I didn't really want to put one of those in because it didn't match what I was trying to do. So I kind of figured if you downloaded and wanted to stick this place in, and you wanted Penny or a content creation person of some kind, content creator, to work in here, I wanted to set the desk up where you could swap it really easy and be able to put that desk in. Or, you know, like, build out enough space where you could have that desk and another desk, however you wanted to do it, but I wanted to kind of, like, mentally block that space out with an L-shaped desk, even though we don't have L-shaped desks like that really in The Sims. Like, The Sim won't pivot to use both. That's not within their abilities. I think I end up using the Eco Lifestyle bed again, which has just been my go-to lately. It's such a good bed. It's got good, they're not quite neutrals, but they're not, like, offensive. They're not, like, in your business kind of colors. It's really great, and, like, it's not a particularly strong aesthetic either. Like, it could be very, like, found fabrics if you thought about it that way, but it also kind of just looks like some of the bedding I've seen at, like, Bed Bath & Beyond. So, I don't know, it's a really good bed, and I've been really stuck on it lately, and it's got some pretty good wood tones. I wish they had done more packs sort of in a similar palette. They kind of have, but they each pack seems to have a really defined palette, which is great. I love that. But then part of me is like, could you go back to, like, the base game and update them? Because it's a little bit hard to match across packs. Not that I'm complaining. I love all of the colors they've given us, and honestly, like, I should just go through with Sims 4 Studio and just, like, cherry pick the colors I want. It wouldn't be that hard if I just sat down to do it, and I talk about it enough. Penny Pizzazz kind of did inspire this part because I do end up putting an actual closet in, but I was like, if she's an influencer, she's gonna want to have, like, an outfit planning area, right? Like a true setup. So I did put a clothing rack in. I do put this closet in because the other thing too is in an apartment like this, I'll be real honest with you, I probably wouldn't it depends how the closet's set up, but I could see myself realistically not using the closet for like a clothes closet, but sticking like the things that are like a pain in the tail end to store in there, and then having a rack like that for my clothes, because really, like, I have a fair amount of clothes because I stopped growing in middle school and just like never really got rid of anything because I keep wearing it. But so like I have like a million like sport t-shirts or like program t-shirts from college, or you know, all of that stuff that like I don't get rid of because I'm like, I'm wearing it out to the barn. But like realistically, I could get away with like 5 shirts and 2 pairs of jeans. maybe 3 pairs of jeans. Like realistically, I probably don't need that big a wardrobe, so I would probably do like this and have like the rack, and then store like other gear, or like probably an electronics bin and like camera stuff and like that kind of thing in the closet, things that I would be more worried about getting broken if they were left out. So that's kind of the thought process here. And I also kind of like that it defined the space. I don't know if you can hear little Watson yelling in the background. He's quite mad because he refused to leave the room when I closed the door to start recording, and he decided he had to be up on my lap, and then halfway through setting up, he decided he didn't want to be on my lap anymore, and now he's sitting there and he's mad because the door is closed. So he's fine. He's just having a crankiness. He's just being cranky. So, and now he's looking at me because he's mad I called him cranky. But in his defense, I've also, like, I'm coming off like another, I think, I'm looking at the clock now, 12-hour day. So he's kind of also just really tired of his mom sitting at this computer, which is fair because his mom's also a little bit tired of sitting at this computer. That being said, I think pretty much the only thing left here is I do a little bit of fussing about with the fireplace, I do a little bit of fussing about with some clutter, and then I do the bathroom. Trust me, I don't leave it pink, although I'm not mad at those pink tiles. And since I can hear my voice starting to go, I'm going to bail just a little bit early and let you enjoy the rest of it while I fuss around with this and let you hang out with the screenshots. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoy this apartment. I hope it suits one of your Sims. I hope you're having a great week and that you're feeling really, really loved. And if you're not feeling really, really loved, please know that I love you. I'm glad you exist. I'm glad you're here. And I hope you get to be unapologetically you all week long. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.